We are talking about a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and I am excited because Platinum Games is working on that game. Tell me a little bit about how exciting it is for Platinum to be making a Ninja Turtles game.
There's 30 years of Turtles history, which is just crazy. So we had the responsibility of having to make this as fun as possible and to satisfy 30 years worth of fans. But we've had a hell of a time doing it.
Being that there is 30 years of history, like you mentioned, tell me where you guys drew the inspiration for the story for Mutants in Manhattan.
There's been a lot of history here, and so we wanted to appeal to a really broad audience with the story and make sure everyone can enjoy it. We actually worked with Tom Waltz from IDW Comics in order to figure out what that would be. Through working with him, we were able to come up with a pretty cool story in the end.
You green dweebs think you got the best of old Bebop, do you? Well, you're all wrong. Cause Bebop's the best there is!
And so is this going to be a story that Turtles fans might be familiar with, or did you guys create your own sort of unique story for the Turtles?
For people that have never really seen the Turtles before, it's going to be totally new, but they'll still be able to understand it. However, for those that have seen the Turtles before, there will definitely be elements that are like, oh man, that takes me back. But at the same time, the story is new, so that's kind of what we were aiming for.
Now, we've seen plenty of animated games before, but what is it about this particular style that you guys do so well? I mean, Transformers looked great, it felt like I was playing a cartoon, but now you guys are doing the same thing with Turtles. What's so much fun about creating games like this?
What we really like about it is, as opposed to necessarily making things look perfectly real, if you do things with cell shading and make that kind of cartoon world, you can actually have a lot more freedom with the things you can do within the confines of that game. You can go a little crazier, you can present things in a more spectacular way that works with those visuals that you probably couldn't do with realistic ones. So we feel like we were able to be more creative within this visual setting.
And you know, mentioning that it's a spectacular looking game, having these four turtles with all of their combined powers, can you talk to me about some of the spectacular moves that they're going to be able to do when they're all working together as a team?
Each turtle has their unique, awesome moves that they can do. Mikey's are hilarious and way over the top. Raph is, in general, a little bit slower, but he's really powerful, and he does moves that blow enemies away. Leo has two swords, and how awesome is that? He's cutting everything in sight. Donnie has much more range with the bow, and he has moves that really help the team. All of them have their unique niches that they can use to kick some butt.
Now, there are a lot of Turtle fans out there, and some that might be new to the world of the Turtles. What are you most excited for those Turtle fans and newcomers to experience within the game?
One of the things that we really focused on and wanted to ensure we pulled off is for players to feel like they are the Turtles, where you're actually running around New York and stopping crimes or doing things the Turtles are supposed to be doing. I can't wait for players to experience the whole thing and feel like they are the Turtles, with the banter and all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
They want a war? We'll give them a war.
And obviously the question everybody wants to know, who's your favorite turtle?
それぞれ4人のタートルズがすごく個性的でも全部大好きなんですけど
My favorite is Michelangelo. The reason is because I share his undying love for pizza.
Now, there's a lot of negativity when people hear something about new licensed games involve something that they're precious to, but you guys are known for creating your own IP and have been working well on this licensed IP. What are some of the challenges in taking this licensed content and making sure that, you know, it has that platinum seal of approval on it?
When we work on licensed stuff, the most important thing for us to start with is we endeavor to understand the passion that those who created it had when doing so. So what we think is most crucial is we have to understand the source material, not just what happened in it, but to understand why people love it. And we have to look at it through those eyes before we start working on it. Once we have done that, and we do appreciate it for what it is, then we start trying to come up with the way that the world works. That's one of the challenges when it's not your own IP. You have to make sure you fully understand.
And having worked on a lot of violent titles in general, do you guys ever have to stop when in creating, especially with a game like Turtles? Is there a point where you just can't cross over? And if so, do you guys have like a special R-rated Turtles game that you guys only play and you can't share with us?
I think we have a reputation for violent games, but that's definitely not what we're all about. It's just one particular way to express action, but we have a lot more facets that we can show when not necessarily going over the top on that is an option. it actually becomes interesting to us to be able to use other means. This time around, we actually used comedy a lot to emphasize the action. We don't have an R-rated version, unfortunately, but when we started working on animations and stuff, things were a lot more violent because we had not settled down on the aesthetic yet. Things got more toned down towards the end.
The true battle starts now!
Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.